But that's the case. And so, Ed, you used to work at Sun on both the JSF and servlet specs. Can you tell us more about the Java community inside Microsoft?
Absolutely. I'm very happy to. And you said the key word, Olivier, community. For me, doing Java from 1997 onward, it's always been about the community, not just the people that are in the core development environment, but also the people that are building businesses on top of Java and then going out and doing great things. So inside of Microsoft, we have so many Java champions. It's like you throw a rock, you hit a Java champion. It's pretty easy to do. But it's a very high energy, exciting growth environment. And we're really excited to bring the full stack of Java expertise from the desktop to the IDEs, to the frameworks, and to the tools.
And we'll discuss some of that today, actually, because, and let me turn to you, Martin. One of the great recent announcements from Microsoft is the release of its own OpenJDK build, right? Open source out there, kind of like freezing hell, once again. Can you tell us a bit about that?
It has been a historic moment for Microsoft. Whenever we go talk to the Java ecosystem, when they hear that Microsoft has released its own build of Java with the Microsoft build of OpenJDK, it is a hell frozen over moment. So what we've done is we've released Java 11 as a long-term service release. That's been battle tested at LinkedIn on hundreds of thousands of JVMs, so you can be reassured it's production ready. We've also sneakily put out a release of Java 16 as well. And for the sharp-eyed amongst you who play a small game called Minecraft, if you take a look at the snapshot builds and the version of Java running underneath there, you'll see a very familiar household name that you may not have previously associated with Java. And we're very excited to help out that community as well.
Yeah, do you think I should go talk to my 16 years old who's playing Minecraft every day about it? So, well, we'll see.
Absolutely.
So, Ed, Microsoft also announced many improvements for Visual Studio Code for Java. So could you give us an overview of what's new and how this will ease the work of Java developers?
Absolutely. We talk about cloud native and high velocity, and these are two things that Visual Studio Code does really well. We're cloud native in the sense of code spaces being integrated into the cloud with you, and also the SSH-enabled remote debugging. So if you need to do debugging into the cloud worker node inside your Kubernetes cluster, working inside the pod, you can easily pop into Visual Studio Code and get right on there in with the JVM. So one of the things I loved about what we're doing with Visual Studio Code is it fits with the idiomatic Java native way of doing things. So it's not only cloud native, but it fits the way Java developers expect things to work. Because people have been doing stuff with IntelliJ, with NetBeans for a very long time, and these tools have a very Java native way of working. Visual Studio Code, being a polyglot platform, had to do some melding to fit that, but it's actually gotten a lot better over time, and the Maven support is totally first class now.
Nice. So basically meeting developers where they are, right? Making sure they're comfortable with their tooling, with their frameworks, with their habits, not changing all of that. Martin, actually, now I want to talk about SDKs. So you are working on the Java SDK. What are the current evolutions of the SDK? What's going to happen in the next year or so? What's to expect?
Yeah, there's an awful lot going on, and so my own contributions have been very modest. My group has helped look after some of the performance aspects of the SDK, but I've had the pleasure of working with Jonathan Giles and his incredibly experienced Java team. And the major change, to go back to Ed's point, is idiomatic Java. So if you are now using the Azure SDK, the Java version, you are writing and you are using idiomatic Java, and it's a much more pleasant experience for Java developers today. Jonathan and co have also dramatically increase the amount of Azure services that the Java SDKs touch. Everything from managing third-party APMs in your Azure subscription, such as Datadog, connecting to Azure Key Vaults, Azure Synapse. The list just goes on. And you really do have full coverage of the entire Azure suite now with Java, which is fantastic.
Love it, love it. So Julien, I've not forgotten you. You are a developer. You're the hipster, actually. If someone actually has been using JHipster. You're the man behind that. So Julien, as a developer yourself, one thing that is really great about this SDK is that it's fully reactive using Project Reactor. It's the same technology that powers the new reactive Spring. So it becomes trivial to do a fully reactive Spring Boot application using the Azure SDK. What else can you tell us about Spring?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, it's a great time to be a Spring developer on Azure. You know, Spring is a framework that most Java enterprise developers use. So as Microsoft, we fully support it. What gets me more excited today is Azure Spring Cloud. So it's our platform as a service offering that is jointly managed and operated with VMware, with the makers of Spring. And so we've announced quite a lot of new features. Of course, we're supporting OpenJDK. I mean, the Microsoft build of OpenJDK. We're going to have full monitoring support with our new Java agent. And that opens the door to a lot new features on scalability. So, you know, Azure Spring Cloud is all about developers Git pushing their code to Azure Spring Cloud and us managing and running it. And so we are bringing two new features to Azure Spring Cloud, which I really like. There is bring your own container. So you bring your own Docker image. Typically, you can bring a GraalVM image if you want to do a native build. And we're bringing small instance, 0.5 CPU instance. So that means we're going to work a lot on scalability, so you pay less when you don't need it. And of course, you scale as much as you need thanks to Azure Spring Cloud. So as a developer, you're going to have a great experience and great scalability out of it.
Awesome. Thanks, Julien. So one more thing I'd like for you to share with our audience here is, like, is there any things particular at Build this year you recommend people to go check out?
Well, I think all of the Java-based content is super exciting this year. So we have an Ask the Experts roundtable at the end of the day today that I think you should check out.
Okay, well, that's perfect. Ed, Martin, Julien, thanks a lot for joining us today. And well, I hope you enjoyed the event as well. And to all the Java champions around, well, we have some of you at Microsoft and would like to make the tools that you're familiar with, that you like, the best of breed over here. So thanks, guys, for joining us today.